You know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
Those weekend golf guys, it is us and girls. I'm John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith out on the West Coast, and this will be the last time we mention him, because if he's not here, he gets no mention, because out of sight, out of mind, and in the part of Jeff Smith today, capably played by Brooke Watts.
How are y'all doing?
We're fine, and y'all, that's Texas for how are you, sir?
That's exactly right.
Awesome.
That is the proper grammar down here in Texas.
Yeah, try explaining to these Yankees, man, that y'all is you, and if you got more than one, it's all y'all. They just can't grasp that concept whatsoever, but from Star Ranch in Austin, Texas.
Yes, sir.
So she comes heavily credentialed with golf teaching expertise. No
That's
golf
right.
guy's hat yet, which we were just berated for, but hey, we're working on it.
I gotta have the apparel.
Gotta have the uniform. You know?
Exactly. That's exactly right. I talk about y'all. I might as well have the hat, right?
Might as well. Maybe we'll throw a shirt in too.
Really? Gosh, that's a pretty sweet deal.
But here in public on the air, we won't ask you what size. So.
I appreciate that. You're a gentleman. You're such a gentleman,
That's
John.
right, but I needed to point out in public that I was a gentleman because so few people actually pick up on that on their own, you know?
See if that sticks. Get it out there. See if it sticks. Okay, I like it. I like it.
It's Masters weekend, which basically it's like opening day for baseball, which also happened this past week. It's like, okay, the golf season hath begun. Some of us have been playing year-round, Brooke, but some of us have been shut in. Weather permitting, and it hasn't. So, a lot of us have been hitting and missing. We'll play, I love the weather here. This is the epitome. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. Because, today we woke up to 33 degrees. Yesterday it was 76. So,
wow.
There's a little bit of a fluctuation back and forth there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. Wow. But it is Masters weekend, so now everybody is kind of like, okay, we're getting into the golf spirit. And there's one thing I was thinking. I've got two different fantasy sites, or two different accounts at a fantasy site, and I want to point out that those weekendgolfguys.com/DraftKings is where you really need to go, because they've got the greatest golf fantasy games available. And unless you live in New York State, where it's not allowed, then you can have a good time. So I have two different accounts. I've taken two different potential winners of the Masters. I got Rory and I got Dustin Johnson. Okay.
Wow, no Jordan Spieth.
No Jordan Spieth.
Wow, no Texas love, John.
No
do you want
Texas
to talk
love.
about that, or we need to talk this through?
Just the way he's been going recently. He's
Gotcha.
And I know he probably will rise to the occasion, but yeah, I got better odds on Dustin and Rory.
All right. Okay. That's
All right.
a strong move. Move. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The Dell match play was here in Austin 2 weeks ago, and I saw Dustin hit golf balls on the driving range, and it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. I tell you, the balance that he has in his golf swing and the trajectory that he hits that golf ball, it is unbelievable. I mean, it is mind-blowing to see how far he can hit it in the air and have it carry. The driving range at Austin Country Club is only 280 yards deep, but it's uphill. And he was and they have a huge net set up at the end of it, and he was flying it with a long iron in the air, 280. It was unbelievable.
I was going to ask you if they charged him for the balls that he hit out of bounds. He hit beyond the property line.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Some of my friends were actually at the other end of the driving range because one of the par threes on the front side was on the other side, and one ball came screaming through the net, and I mean, gosh, it's like they were throwing money through that net. I mean, people were scurrying trying to get that golf ball. So it's unbelievable, but he's a great player. Yeah. He is a really good player.
And I think he's due.
I do too.
I think he's due. I wouldn't be upset if Jordan won, because, he's cool and we like him. Justin Thomas, our friend here from Louisville. He's going to be right up there. He's always, top 20, top 25, whatever. He has a tendency to get a little nervous on Sundays. He did that. He was in fourth place last year and then finished in 28th or something. But be that as it may, I have money riding. I can win money should Rory or Dustin Johnson win the Masters. However, I'm going to tell you that there's something that your emotion overcomes your intellect. Because if Phil got close,
yes,
I would be rooting for Phil no matter how much it would cost me.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
just like last Monday night. I was 20 points behind in my NCAA bracket. That's all. I needed 20 points to win all the money. There was one guy who was 20 points ahead of me who did not have a dog in the Final Four hunt. I had chosen UNC to win it all.
Whew.
Because on paper, that looked like what was going to happen. So I am all ecstatic that UNC gets in the final. And I'm sit there, and for the first 30 or 45 seconds last night, I'm rooting for UNC. And then suddenly I find myself emotionally pulling for Villanova.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And that last-minute shot was great, and it's emotion. It overcomes intellect, so sports, all that, you can throw it out the window. It's all an emotional thing. Golf is the same way. Just want to congratulate. Finally, as a University of Louisville fan, University of Kentucky Wildcats are our nemesis. I can say with a clean conscience, congratulations, Wildcats. All right?
There you go.
So, and
wasn't that amazing?
It was phenomenal. A 3-pointer to tie it, and then 4 seconds later, a 3-pointer to win it. And the confetti guy, the confetti guy was the most, he came awful close to making a big mistake, but nice to know that it worked, and it worked well. And just want to congratulate our listeners up in Philly. I'm sure it was a fun time in Philadelphia all week partying, but now let's party for the Masters and party and hang out and just try to pay attention to the weekend golf, guys, because we've got a lot more coming up, and we will be right back to do it. Don't you move.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving, but my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
And we are those weekend golf guys. We are back. Hope you can say the same. But then again, if you're not back, the heck with you. We're not mentioning Jeff Smith because he is absent. We will instead introduce the lovely and talented Brooke Watts from Star Ranch in Austin, Texas. Brooke, thanks for filling in capably.
Yes, sir. Always. It's my pleasure, John.
In fact, you sound so much prettier than Jeff. Maybe we'll just have you on regularly and let him go find his own radio show.
Got my vote.
Okay.
Done. I think it's a cross the board decision.
That's it. The executive committee.
We've all done a show of hands.
That just shows how shallow we can be. Prettiness aside, this woman is an expert golf instructor down at Star Ranch in Austin, Texas. And
thank you.
You were mentioning something about some of your students out competing in high school district tournaments this past week. They doing okay?
Absolutely. I've got about 18 that are playing in the district tournament. We, variety of different classifications of the high school. And, I've got 3 girls that are playing against each other that are all tied for second.
Ooh.
And so, that is a lot of emotions.
Yes,
a lot of emotions go with that one. And it's going really, really well. One of my teams, I teach, all of the Hutto high school team, and they won district by 50 strokes.
Ooh.
So, we started working really, really hard on 100 yards and in and focusing on that. And they just obliterated the field. So it's going well. And we got another crew that, is finishing up this week. So I'm excited. A lot of them are going to regionals.
You know, the last time you were on, and we told you, we did tell you we were going to ask you a question, but we will save that for the next segment, because you brought up this topic and we are nothing if fly by the seat of the pants kind of guys.
Yes.
But you had mentioned something, the last time you were on about a month ago about working with your students, doing that, 10 shots.
Yes.
Here you
Absolutely.
go. Hit it 40 yards, hit it 50, hit it 60 until you can make sure that you can get it all in there. And I was thinking about that after we aired that, week's show. Very, very good golfers and very, very bad golfers, or let's not put it that way, but let's say, low handicap and high handicap golfers both need to perfect that because, a low handicap golfer is going to be very much closer on their drives.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
high handicappers are going to be off the green still after their second shot.
Absolutely.
For the most part. Being able to handle the right wedge the right way, and try saying that 5 times fast. Wow.
It's tricky. It's a tongue twister.
That is really a talent that I would think most of us need to put number 1 on our practice list of talents to make sure we have when we actually get out there to play golf.
Oh, absolutely. 100 yards and in that is really where you score. And there, that dreaded 30-yard shot, 40-yard shot, for most people, that is one of the most feared shots in golf. It's close enough that you should hit it close, but it's far enough that you can really screw it up. Yeah. And it's really a fine line. And one thing I work with my golfers on a lot is making sure they're managing their game. I've got one high school girl, a freshman. She's gained about 30 yards since August, and she's, just really having a good, clean impact with the golf ball. And she's hitting it so far with her driver that 30-yard shot is really allowing her not to score the way that she should. And so to get her ready for district, I said, we need to go through the scorecard and figure out how far, because she said 100 yards is my ideal yardage. So we went through the scorecard and I said, well, then you don't need to be hitting driver every hole. And I think that's one thing that folks can do is if you've got a course that you play regularly, it's not necessarily how far you hit your driver. It's that second shot, especially on par 4s. What yardage do you need to be that you're like, I got that shot? And then you can start increasing your confidence with other shots of, okay, I can hit an 80-yard shot or a 60-yard shot. But that 10-ball rule is so effective because 10 shots, you can keep focus for 10 shots and then figure out, okay, what's my percentage on that? And that is one thing that has helped all of my students. I have a guy that he's actually from Tennessee, collegiate basketball player. He's played golf 8 times. I gave him a 2-hour lesson on Good Friday. And he went out and shot 87 on Easter Sunday. Now he thinks that was, due to it being Easter Sunday. And I was like, possibly, you never know. But we worked 100 yards and in because he had a huge playing opportunity. And it's amazing how much that will affect your score.
Yeah. That's one thing that a lot of, we amateurs, a lot of us amateurs, whatever the proper English is, need to get in our head because it's so much fun to whale a driver.
Oh yeah.
And hit it, further than you've ever hit it before. But then you get to your second shot and go, well, now what the heck am I going to do?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't have a 70-yard shot,
Oh, absolutely. That was my college career. I mean, I was notorious for hitting the longest drives, and I had a 50-yard shot, and then it would take me 2 to get on the And my dad's looking at me like, you're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. So that was my whole collegiate career there. And it is, just getting the confidence of, I started off with just a 52-degree wedge and, realized, okay, how far do I hit that full, half swing, quarter swing, and getting those yardages? And it's also important to know, how far do you fly it? It's not how far the ball goes, but how far can you fly it? And when you start getting those yardages down, you'll be amazed at how your scores will go down.
Yeah, I am. Because that's you and Jeff are on the same page when you start talking about that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because the first time I played with Jeff, he walked up to his ball, had 3 wedges in his hand. I said, "You're taking 3?" He said, "Yeah, they're not that heavy." Well, what are you doing? He said, "Well, it depends on the lie and what I want to do and all, and I'm going, really?
I know.
You mean you can make those changes?" Yes, you can, and we're going to talk more about it, too, when we come right back. We are those weekend golf guys. Brooke Watts from Star Ranch in Austin filling in for Jeff Smith, and this is the last time we will mention his name. Take that, Jeff. We'll be right back.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving, but my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
Harry Taylor is a PGA Tour golfer, best known for his short game and for the fact that he is the tailor in TaylorMade. He has been a designer of golf clubs for a long time. And one of the things he really wanted to do was design wedges that would work well out of the box for 98% of the golfing public. That's you and me, people. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Go take a look at these wedges. 1, they're beautiful. 2, they work really, really well for 98% of us. And 3, I can get you at a discount. Just when you order, please use the code LOVEMeTender, and that $169 black wedge is going to set you back only $109. That's right, $60 off. And the $149 wedge will be $99, $50 off. If you use the code LOVEMeTender at checkout. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Love Me Tender in the code box at checkout. You're going to get yourself a great wedge at a great price. We appreciate it. Back again, those weekend golf guys. Thanks for hanging through the break with us. John Ashton in studio. Brooke Watts with us from Star Ranch in Austin, Tejas. See,
there you go.
Not only can I pronounce Dos Equis, I can pronounce Tejas correctly. Eh?
I tell you, you're just becoming bilingual right in front of my eyes, John.
I am.
It's definitely amazing.
A polyglot. I can say a few things in many languages. Can't speak anything, not even English well, but.
Very nice. I'm impressed.
We were talking in the last segment. I want to throw in just a little quick reminder. We're talking about wedge play, and a lot of times it's not necessarily just you. It sometimes can be your equipment. You can have wedges because the bounce and the grind and all that are really determine how it reacts with your swing and stance and all that kind of stuff. You may have the wrong wedges. It may not be that you're too stupid to actually learn how to swing it correctly. It may be that they are wrong for your basic setup and your basic swing mechanics. We do suggest real quick that you just go to harrytaylorgolf.com. Check out his wedges. They are absolutely gorgeous. Harry Taylor is a long-time club designer. He swears that these clubs will work perfectly for 98% of the golfing public. And that's not 98% of the professional golfers. That's 98% of all golfers, including us, the duffers. So
that is, and the wedges are so important. That is one thing as an instructor that I always make sure for my students, they have good wedges in their bag, because that's your scoring clubs.
That's right.
And making sure that you know the loft of, especially your pitching wedge, because most of the time that comes with the set of irons that you have. Know what the loft is on your pitching wedge, and then you can fill the gaps in the rest of your bag of what you really need.
Right.
Because it is, what you think is quote unquote standard may not always be standard. So good wedges, that is one thing that I let all of my students, especially those high schoolers, middle schoolers that want to get to that collegiate level, you've got to have good wedges. It's just one of those things you have to have.
And when you see the price, the black ones are $169, the stainless ones are $149. If you use the coupon code at checkout, Love Me Tender, you'll get a substantial discount, $60 off the black ones, $50 off the stainless ones. So there'll be $99 and $109 for you because you know us.
They're beautiful wedges.
Aren't they though? Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. So we have a question. Both intrepid producer Mark and I have the same. We were talking about this on the way to the studio this morning. We watch the playback from all of the big golf tournaments, the super slow-mo.
Yes.
Of all these professional golfers. And it looks like when the professional golfer hits the ball almost immediately flies off the face of the club, right?
Right.
Why is follow-through so important then if the ball is gone almost immediately upon contact?
Yes. So that's a great question. Follow-through is really important. It does appear that when the pros hit the ball does jump straight off the face. Why is follow-through so important? One thing that's really important to know is, for those professional golfers that are on TV, their swing speeds are exceptionally high. They are swinging well over 100 miles per hour, and the separation between the club face and the ball happens sometimes at a sooner rate than the average player. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize is what the club does basically from impact, and for some people it's from impact to your left hip pocket or impact to about, chest high. Your follow through and how you're going about your follow through, squaring the club face, what path you're going to be on, will affect where that ball's going to go. So it appears that the ball and the face are separating, but your follow through is going to affect what the ball does in a very, very dramatic fashion. So having good balance, making sure that you're finishing nice and tall. Mike Adams, who Jeff and I have mentored under, who is a phenomenal teacher, just, received every accolade there is as a golf instructor, says you should finish tall, that when you hit that golf ball, you should be able to drop the club and immediately start walking down the fairway, and your caddy's trying to catch you. And it's the most hilarious thing when you see him do it, that he hits the ball and it's almost like he's dropping the mic. And he's just trucking it down the fairway. And when you do that, you'll be amazed. You're pretty much guaranteed to hit it straight almost every single time.
That's because when he finishes, he's in the position to head straight down the fairway.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. That, his head is over his shoulders, shoulders are over the knees are over the ankles. So that follow through is really making a huge impact of the direction that ball's going to go. A very, very big direction. So, even though it looks like the ball and the face are separating, you still have to have a good follow through with good balance, good posture in order to make sure that ball goes straight.
Okay, so the answer to the question that I'm getting, Brooke, from you is because I said so.
That is the summation of it. That is exactly right.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. The physics. Don't worry your pretty little head about the physics, John.
Exactly.
Just do it.
You read between the lines beautifully on that. I love it. You and I are dancing together. Yes, that's absolutely right. But, it's funny. Whenever you tell a student if they are hitting a duck hook, the fastest way to fix a duck hook, or if you're hitting it really low, say, I want you to show me a tall balance finish. Show me what you think that means. Don't change anything else in your swing. I guarantee you it will fix that problem most 98% of the time. Even
with my grandson, that was the first thing that in his lesson, the first lesson he took, he wasn't even swinging at a ball. He was just swinging a club, and the instructor just said, just finish high.
Yeah.
Just when you finish in this position. And he, held the position with the club up high, and he said your ball's going to go where your belly button is pointing when you finish your swing.
Oh, absolutely. It's so funny. We just got done with spring break here in Texas a couple weeks ago. And when you're teaching, 40 some odd kids at one time, it's almost like you're a borderline auctioneer than a golf instructor. You just want to make sure that everyone leaves with the same number of teeth they started with. That's always goal number one. And then goal number 2, I hope they learn some golf. And when we talk about a tall finish, it's so funny when you hear them say in their own words what they think that means. And they've come up with some things that I'm like, that's hilarious. I was like, what do you think, what do you think a tall balance finish means? And one was like, right heel to heaven. I was like, there you go. Okay. And he just started striping it right down the middle.
Hey, if it works for you, it works for me.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So yes, that tall balance finish, it is very important.
Yeah, it is. And even though we can't understand why, we understand that it is. And, we're not going to argue with you. Yeah. We don't have the time or the energy.
When you start hitting it straight and high, when you start hitting it further, higher, and straighter, most of the time the answer's in that ball flight. And most people, I don't really care what happens, because like I said earlier, if you think you stink, it's like, just hit it. I'm going to get a bumper sticker campaign started with that. If you think you stink, it's going to take off, gentlemen. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, watching that ball fly high and straight and actually going where you thought you were aiming.
Oh, amazing.
Man, that is just, it makes it a whole different game. A whole different game. Rich Massey is a golf teacher. He also has a training aid, DSTGolf. You may want to go to DSTGolf.com. No, just go to Facebook.com/golfguys and check it out. We're going to have the pictures of what we're going to be talking about up there right now. So follow along to understand what we're talking about. Check that out while you're listening. We will be right back with Rich Massey from DST Golf and a lot more with those Weekend Golf Guys coming right back.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
Now there's a martini that improves your driving. The new Martini Golf Tee actually gives you longer, straighter drives compared to old-fashioned wood tees. It's virtually unbreakable, made in the USA, and conforms with USGA rules. Get yours today at martinigolftees.com. So improve your driving with a martini. The Martini Golf Tee. Visit martinigolftees.com.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Harry Taylor is a PGA Tour golfer, best known for his short game and for the fact that he is the tailor in TaylorMade. He has been a designer of golf clubs for a long time. And one of the things he really wanted to do was design wedges that would work well out of the box for 98% of the golfing public. That's you and me, people. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Go take a look at these wedges. One, they're beautiful. Two, they work really, really well for 98% of us. And three, I can get you at a discount. Just when you order, please use the code LOVEMeTender, and that $169 black wedge is going to set you back only $109. That's right, $60 off. And the $149 wedge will be $99, $50 off. If you use the code LOVEMeTender at checkout. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Love Me Tender in the code box at checkout. You're going to get yourself a great wedge at a great price. We appreciate it. And welcome back. We are those weekend golf guys. John Ashton here in studio. Brooke Watts from Star Ranch in Austin, Texas, is filling in capably for the conspicuously absent Jeff Smith, who is gallivanting somewhere out on the West Coast. We'll let him there, but also out on the West Coast. And Rich, if you run into Jeff, say hi for us and tell him we miss him, but not that much. Rich Massey with DSTGolf. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure, totally. And I want to thank you for the club, the DST 8-iron, the little training gizmo, for lack of a better word. I know the UPS guy, when I opened it, asked if I wanted to file a complaint because it came out with a bent shaft. But I said,
we've actually had a customer send it back one time.
You're kidding me.
I guess it was ordered by his wife, and he got the club, and he sent it back and said obviously it was damaged during shipping.
Wow.
Now, just to explain, you have to visualize this, or you could go to our Facebook page right now at facebook.com/golfguys and see a picture of the DST clubs, either the 8-iron or the pitching wedge, so you'll know and you can follow along and understand what we're talking about. But it is a training device that has a bent shaft. And Rich, I want you to give us chapter and verse real quick on the thought process behind that, and then I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to me this weekend when I actually used it.
Sure. So the club is designed, as you mentioned, with a curved shaft. The curve is pointing in the direction of down the target line towards the target. And basically it was done to replicate what happens to a regular golf shaft under the maximum load at impact. When a good ball striker gets to impact, the shaft of the club actually bows down the line slightly. And the only way to do that is to have your hand leading the club head through impact, or as we call it, sustaining the line of compression, which basically just means that if you drew a line from your left armpit, if you're a right-handed golfer, down to the back of the ball, your hands are in front of that line versus on the line or behind the line where you get scoopy and players have trouble striking the ball. So after reading The Golfing Machine by Homer Kelly, that Bertie Cordell, who's the inventor of the DST Club, said there has to be an easier way to teach people how to do this. To his credit, he went and spent time developing a machine that would actually curve the shaft and sustain the credibility of the shaft. So it basically does two things. It again forces the golfer to keep their hands ahead of the club head through impact like all good ball strikers. And then secondly, because of the curvature of the shaft, the balance of the shaft changes slightly. So the club now actually wants to swing more consistently on the inclined plane, which just basically means for the listeners that it helps the golfer keep their arms swinging on plane without them having to actually think about it as much. If you don't, the error gets exaggerated. Basically, so if you take the club off the inclined plane at any point in time, you're going to feel the torque. The best analogy would be as if you were driving your car and one of the wheels goes out of balance, you feel a shake in that wheel. Mm-hmm. Well, it's the same thing. When you get the club out of position, it's going to tell you quickly. There's no way to cheat it. So instantly, after every single swing you make, you're going to know based on ball flight and feel on whether or not you swing the club properly.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Makes sense, Brooke, right?
Absolutely. Well, and the thing that's nice about what y'all have to offer, y'all have got wedges as well as an 8-iron as well, correct?
That is correct. That's correct, yeah. So the wedge is actually a fan wedge. It's a 58-degree fan wedge. And then the 8-iron is your standard 8-iron. And the better the player, they tend to gravitate more towards the 8-iron. But that being said, I've got PGA Tour players and European Tour players and LPGA players playing the wedge.
And you use it as in a practice regimen prior to a round. All right, now let me tell you what happened. We did our show live on Sunday from a golf course here in town, and I was showing the club to the pro out at my club out there, and he was like, "I've never seen this before." And I explained, after talking to you at length Saturday evening about what the club was supposed to do and what I could expect, I told him what I was to expect, which is the first time you swing it, probably going to pull the ball to the left. Rich, I don't know if I did it absolutely right or if I did it absolutely wrong, but I didn't hit anything to the left. Everything I hit with it went absolutely dead straight.
Oh, that's fantastic, yeah.
Could you say that louder for me?
I said that is fantastic. You would be in the minority. I mean, I can tell you there's only a handful of PGA Tour players that have hit it straight the first several times they've hit it. So you are, as they say in the medical or academic world, in the higher percentile of talent.
John is special. John is a special guy.
I prefer the way Brooke and Mark, our intrepid producers, is John, you are the man.
You are the man. Yep.
That's an absolute miracle.
But it did help in our conversation, knowing what the concept was. It's the first time, Rich, I got to tell you, it's the first time that I've actually set up to a ball and knew exactly what the relationship between where my hands are and where the club head is should be. Every other time I've been guessing.
Well, first of all, I would tell you that if you probably asked 10 of your listeners, 9 of them wouldn't be able to accurately identify the optimum impact position. So, as we say, if the golfer doesn't know where that position is, the likelihood of them actually reaching that position during a swing is slim to none. I joke with some customers. I say, if I told you to meet me for lunch and I didn't tell you where, you'd never meet me. Right? If you don't know where it is, how are you expected to get there, right? And so what we like to tell people is that the DST clubs are literally the first training club that a golfer can use where they will actually know the optimum impact position before they even take the club back. Yeah. And that statement alone is extremely powerful, because whether you think you're athletic or not, the body has athleticism, and if it knows where it needs to get to accurately, it has a very good chance of trying to get to that position. But if it has no awareness of where it needs to get, the likelihood of it getting there again are slim to none.
Right, and that's what I said. Looking at it, I went, "Oh, that's what it's supposed to look like." And I got to tell you, the next 18 holes, Rich, I was striping my irons. In fact, some of the people I were playing with was like, "What the heck happened to you? What you drink at the bar this afternoon, and how can I get some?"
I'll have what he's having.
The more you drink, the less the curve looks.
It equals out.
Yes.
Well, it's so nice to have a training aid that you can actually hit golf balls with, that you are dynamically learning how to get that feeling, because John Dunnigan, heard him speak at the PGA show this year, and he said it best. He said, "If you think, you stink." And I have said that every day, every lesson, in so many aspects of my life, but especially with golf. And it is amazing to have something that you can hit golf balls with, that you can get the feeling about, that it just happens biodynamically.
No question. In fact, I would tell you that amongst the tour players, whether it's LPGA, PGA, European, the number one feedback that I get from players on why they like using it is because when they use the DST club, it helps them create a feel for the proper impact position and the instant feedback. So why that's important is because you as an instructor, and I'm an instructor as well, we can tell somebody what to do, but it's extremely powerful when that player actually creates the feel themselves.
Absolutely.
So when they're out on that golf course, they have to make a swing, or if they're struggling a little bit, and they can recall the feel that produces a straight shot with the DST club, which allows them to know that they're sustaining the line of compression and that they're pivoting properly with their arms and their body. I can't teach that. I can tell them all day long, but I can't teach them that feel. And so the players out on the tour, I mean, there's so many different instructors and so many different philosophies. So to have as many players as we have using the club, it truly is a feel product. There's nothing mechanical about it. And as you just mentioned, nothing's more powerful than the player having that feel, because if they can't feel it, they're never going to be able to do it. It's that simple.
And that's exactly right.
And I'm a field player. Well, most of us are, although some of us like to think it's cerebral. But like you said, Brooke, you think you stink.
Exactly.
Like the skies opened up and it was like, I heard little, harp music and everything, and it was like a blinding revelation. It was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like.
Right, exactly.
And I even put a 6-iron onto a green almost to the flag in the teeth of about a 20-mile-an-hour wind gust from 152 yards with a 6-iron. And I'm an old fat dude.
Well, there you go.
There's another saying on tour where they say, feel is not real, right? So what the player feels like they're doing sometimes isn't exactly what they're doing, but it doesn't make a difference. It's more importantly what the player's feeling what they're doing that produces that shot. And
right.
So just to give you a quick example, Justin Rose, the first time he used the club, the first several shots he hit, he pulled each one of them. Uh-huh. And then, so I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to say to Justin Rose? Am I going to tell the U.S. Open winner that, oh, your swing stinks? I mean, and so I made a suggestion to him. I said, Justin, when guys hit a bit of a pull shot, they tend to have more success if they feel like they're making more of a cut downswing, which is basically just telling him keep his arms closer to his body, feel like they're swinging left through impact. So he hits a few shots, and I'd say within 5 shots, he finally hits one dead straight. And so I said to him, okay, Justin, what feel did you have that allowed you to produce that dead straight shot? And he said, Rich, I had to feel like I was making a 10-yard cut swing. So in order for him to swing his arms on plane properly and pivot properly, he literally had to feel like he was making hitting a 10-yard cut.
And the good news is that you don't have to be a PGA multiple tournament winner in order to get that feel. Even us schlub amateurs can do it. And this is the first piece of gear I have seen that allowed me to actually understand and to feel. And do I have to go to a store to buy one, or do I have to go to your website to buy one, or?
Yeah, the best place to go is direct, which is just DSTGolf.com, and we'll have all the clubs right there.
Fantastic. Rich Massey, DST Golf. Appreciate your time, sir. Definitely be back in touch, man. It's great, and thank you very much, because I won more money on Sunday than I've ever won playing golf with any of my friends. I got to find new friends to play with now, but that's okay. Plenty more out there. Listen, we got plenty more in here too. Hang out. We'll be right back. We're all those weekend golf guys. Then we'll. Harry Taylor is a PGA Tour golfer, best known for his short game and for the fact that he is the tailor in TaylorMade. He has been a designer of golf clubs for a long time. And one of the things he really wanted to do was design wedges that would work well out of the box for 98% of the golfing public. That's you and me, people. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Go take a look at these wedges. 1, they're beautiful. 2, they work really, really well for 98% of us. And 3, I can get you at a discount. Just when you order, please use the code LOVEMeTender, and that $169 black wedge is going to set you back only $109. That's right, $60 off. And the $149 wedge will be $99, $50 off. If you use the code LOVEMeTender at checkout. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Love Me Tender in the code box at checkout. You're going to get yourself a great wedge at a great price. We appreciate it.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said you're the picture of health? You look healthy, you feel fine, but that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Since it doesn't always cause symptoms, you may not know you have it. The only way to know is by getting screened. Screening can find precancerous polyps so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. This is one cancer you can prevent. Plus, screening can find colorectal cancer at an early stage when the chance for a full recovery is very high. Talk with your doctor and get tested for colorectal cancer. Medicare and many insurance plans help pay for screening. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
And we are those weekend golf guys. John Ashton in studio. Brooke Watts from Star Ranch. See, and I'm getting better, Brooke. I remember where you are in Austin,
That's
Texas.
amazing, John. I tell you, I'm feeling the love.
Took me about 9 months in order to get it down.
A year, it's 9. Who's counting?
Yeah,
Who's counting?
Me. I am. Because it's one of the few things I get to do. One of the things we were talking about during the commercial break is things that tick us off on the golf course. And there are a lot of things: slow play or fast play. Guys who think you're going too slow and hit into you, even though you've just sat there for 8.5 minutes waiting on the group in front of you to clear the green. Or guys who wait on a par 5 for their second shot and then hit it about 70 yards.
Yes.
That ticks me off. But the number one thing, and Brooke, I have to agree with you on this because this is your pet peeve. I hate it when I'm sitting there and the green is all torn up between where my ball is and where the cup is because some lazy butt couldn't take a few extra seconds to fix his ball mark.
My dad and grandfather both said it best. If you're good enough to make a ball mark, if you can hit the ball well enough to hit a divot on the green, you should know that you need to look somewhere in that vicinity because you see where it lands. And just to have a good idea of what's going on. Here in Texas, we get such extreme weather, especially in the summer, that if you're making ball marks and divots on the green in the summertime, and water is such a scarcity at times here in Texas due to the extreme drought, the greens are torn up forever all summer. Yeah. And it's just, oh my gosh, and it drives me nuts. And then also, like you said, just trying to roll your putt and have a chance to shoot a good score and it bumps offline because there's a ball mark in the way that didn't get repaired properly. That is the one thing. First putting lesson I give everyone, whether you are 5 years old or 85. We talk about ball marks, talk about divots, and that is definitely something that I get across all my students of let that green, leave it, and have it be in better shape than when you found it. Because you can always fix yours, and then you'll usually find at least one more.
One? Oh, yeah. Do 2, do 3, do something. That's one of the things when my grandson comes to play golf and his ADD kicks in, I just give him the divot repair tool and say, go fix as many of these as you can find, Joe.
Oh gosh, it is. I mean, it is. It's incredible. We've gotten some rain here recently. The greens have gotten very, very soft, and just massive Grand Canyon sized divots that are on the putting green. And we've got district golf tournament going on right now, and trying to work with everybody. And it's crazy. So that is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to golf is fix your ball marks on that green. Make sure that you leave it in better condition than you found it.
And you have to admit that most golfers have at least 3 or 4 divot repair tools because you get one for every golf tournament you go to, every scramble you play in.
Absolutely.
You can pick them up next to nothing. But I've got a couple. I got to say that we've hit them on and probably should get them on again. But Bart Folke,
yes,
from the Netherlands, who does the pitch fix.
It's amazing.
Have you seen his new little spider one that he had down the PGA show?
I did see it. I played with that thing forever. I was amazed by that.
Yeah.
It was so good.
The only problem I have with that, excuse me, and he was showing a square patch of turf, and he'd take a ball and he would throw it with some force onto the turf, and there would be the indentation, and he would then take little tool with 4 or 5 plastic fingers on it and just stick it in and pull it up, and there you go. It's flat again.
Right.
But my problem is my divots don't look like that. I don't put a little dent in the green. I usually have some grass pushed up either in front of where the ball hit or behind where the ball hit.
Right.
So that's a different technique, isn't it?
That, with that type of repair tool that you're talking about, that is a really clean ball mark, because I saw him doing it at the demo days where he was throwing it straight down, and it was, a very vertical blow coming straight down to the green.
Straight down, yeah.
And with that, it would be a little tricky to fix it with that tool. The one that you're talking about, John, and that happens here, especially if it gets wet, where it's kind of a skid divot mark.
Yeah.
And, with that, you just want to make sure that you're filling in that when I use a T most of the time. A lot of my students are like, oh, I don't have a divot repair tool. I was like, well, do you have a T that you just teed off with? You can use that. Put the T in the ground next to the divot, pull the turf up and in, that you're basically trying to push forward that ground to help make the surface smooth again and pat it down with the putter. And I've talked to the greenskeepers at a variety of courses of that same similar scenario of, is this the correct way to do it? And they said, if you can make it flat, then that grass seed has a much quicker chance of refilling and repairing itself than if you leave it as a crater.
Yeah, you leave it as a crater and you're going to have bare spots.
Absolutely.
But there are questions. I mean, some people will take the divot repair tool and push, like you said, push up and in and try to fill in the area that's exposed because of their ball mark. Other people will take the tongs, I guess, of the tool and put it under and pull it up to bring the ground back up, but it doesn't necessarily close the grass in.
Exactly. If whatever you can do and whatever technique you want to use or whatever tool you want to use to make it flat. And sometimes, there's, the grass is gone, or maybe it's already a thin lie, or it's a little bit of a muddy spot or a bare spot on the green. Just make it flat. Mm-hmm. And that is the key to success, to making sure that everybody has a good round that's playing behind you, and also ensuring that grass seed can spread and the green will repair itself and get nice and full and lush.
And I guess people are just confused. And when you start confusing people, they don't want to do it wrong, so they just don't do it, which is bad, because it'd be better to do it wrong than to not do it at all.
Absolutely. I had somebody so funny say that recently. I said, it's like CPR. As long as you're doing something, it's better than nothing. And they said, that is kind of extreme, Brooke. And I was like, well, that's how passionate I am about ball marks on the green.
You got it. Resuscitation is resuscitation.
It's saving a life or saving a green.
That's right.
I take them both very seriously. So it is, it's the same type of thing. Something's better than nothing.
Well, I was also talking to a greenskeeper once who said, it doesn't take a lot to keep a green going, but if you neglect it and it goes bad, it can take a year to bring it back.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. We had that happen here in Austin, where a course lost all of their greens about a year ago, and they are just now coming back.
Yeah, it's scary when that happens, frightening when that happens, and and especially the people who play there most often are the ones who complain about it most often, but they're also the ones responsible for it most often.
Oh, so, absolutely. My grandfather, world's worst, never fixed his ball mark, but he would complain about everybody else not fixing his ball mark as his golf cart was parked on the green. I'm like, what's your problem here, Granddad? The ball marks or the tire ruts that you're making? So it's, you name it, that my family's done it out there.
Yeah. That's what you call a golfing family. Let's do donuts on number 16. What do you say, huh?
That's exactly right. I tell you, Abilene Country Club, it's never been the same since my family came to the membership side of it.
That's it, Abilene, prettiest city I've ever seen. Isn't that the words? Yeah. I've never been there. I'm just quoting a song.
Yes, that is exactly right. That is a song. Yes, sir.
People there don't treat you mean, or is it women there don't? I don't know. We could go on and on, but we won't, because again, we digress often because we do it so well, and that's something we got to work on. So, okay. Well, that's it. Soapboxes get put away now, but buy yourself a green repair tool. I'm sure you can go do a search on YouTube, or maybe we'll do it. Okay. If you're too lazy to repair your divots, you're probably too lazy to do a search. So what we will do, because we love you so much, no matter how lazy you are, we will go to YouTube and we will find the definitive training video on how to repair a divot.
Nice.
And we will put it up on our Facebook page. So you just have to go visit us, and it'll be
Fantastic.
Right there for you.
I love it.
Facebook.com/golfguys. It'll be there momentarily. Any second now. It's coming around. Bingo! There it is. All right. I love technology. So you can do that because it is very, very important that it get done. It really is because it's up to you.
Absolutely.
Think
Absolutely.
green. Think green. Save the greens. Whatever. All right. So, other than that pet peeve, what would you say? We got about 30 seconds. So it's a real quick answer, but what would you think? What would you suggest most amateur golfers work on in the next week to get better next coming weekend?
100 yards and in. 100 yards and in is where you score. Jordan Spieth does it best. He gets to a tournament an hour and a half before he tees off for a tournament. 53% of that time is spent on 100 yards and in.
All right.
Work for him. I think it'd work for y'all.
Well, who are we to complain or who are we to argue?
There you go.
That's
I like
exactly.
it.
100 yards and in. Work on that. Report back next weekend. In the interim, Facebook.com/golfguys. Follow us on Twitter at WKND Golf Guys. Visit us anytime at thoseweekendgolfguys.com. And check out some of our sponsors, of course, like Harry Taylor Wedges and Encore Golf Balls. And we got a good deal on those, too. Go to Facebook and we'll explain it all to you. You want to save a lot of money on a great ball, go to Facebook.com/golfguys and you'll be able to do that. Check us back here next weekend because we're going to make it a point to come back, and we really would appreciate it if you made the same effort. Okay? Where you are right now, when you are right now, same time next week, we'll all be here. Until that time, go play some golf. Thanks, Brooke. See ya.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
Harry Taylor is a PGA Tour golfer, best known for his short game and for the fact that he is the tailor in TaylorMade. He has been a designer of golf clubs for a long time. And one of the things he really wanted to do was design wedges that would work well out of the box for 98% of the golfing public. That's you and me, people. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Go take a look at these wedges. One, they're beautiful. Two, they work really, really well for 98% of us. And three, I can get you at a discount. Just when you order, please use the code LOVEMeTender, and that $169 black wedge is going to set you back only $109. That's right, $60 off. And the $149 wedge will be $99, $50 off. If you use the code LOVEMeTender at checkout. HarryTaylorGolf.com. Love Me Tender in the code box at checkout. You're going to get yourself a great wedge at a great price. We appreciate it.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.